Brothers and sisters, once again, we here. Injury to one. Man, I am your host, Dezo. You know it. Man, I'm just excited today. I got my brothers and sisters and my brother and my sister here, and I'm like, I'm proud of this thing, man. It's gonna go like I think it will because I believe in y'all. We a family, the ILWU in this thing, local 10. Can you introduce your name?
Well, uh, my name is Trent Buster Jr. Willis, plug
Okay.
number 9182.
Hi, I'm Tan Burnley, plug number 102440. They call me Ms. Tan.
Let's go, Miss Tan. Yeah, man. Got that new fresh member glow on you. You know what I'm
That I do.
saying?
That I
I
do.
like that, man. You know what I mean? We got the grizzled old veteran in here. Y'all know what's up, man. 3815. It's all good. One day I'm gonna cross the threshold and it ain't gonna be nothing. But man, I appreciate y'all. How y'all feeling today?
Feel
Good.
good.
I
Very good.
appreciate y'all for so much for like giving me y'all time. I know stuff be going on or whatever in life, and we, we plan to do stuff, but I guess God laugh at plans, you know.
Mm.
So I appreciate y'all.
Very welcome.
So we got this. So Miss Tan, I'm gonna ask you,
Oh my.
why did you want to become a member of the ILWU?
Uh, Good question because it wasn't that I wanted to. I kind of fell into it. I'm a generation. I'm a third generation
Okay.
longshore, and that's because my dad's uncle, who was his father's brother, who kind of helped raise my dad, brought him in,
Mhm.
and then my dad brought my brother in,
Uh-huh.
and then my brother brought me in.
Oh,
And it's so funny because my dad is one of the true OGs.
okay.
He's plug number 76.
Dang.
11.
Yeah, let's go, Pops. Shout out. Right?
Probably,
76.
yeah. So, every time that they had, was doing like a lotto or bring in your certificates, whatever,
Mm,
you know, my brother's like, oh, they're going to start hiring. And then I wouldn't hear nothing.
right.
And he said, oh, they started hiring. Then I wouldn't hear nothing. And then finally, I divorced and moved back home.
Mm,
And my brother had another certificate. And he gave it to me. And so,
shout out, bro.
right. And so then, every year, as you know, I came in at the same time. I submitted my certificate, I think, in 2017. So
Mhm.
every year, my brother's like, oh, did they call you yet? You get your letter? Yes. I'm
Right.
like, no, to the point where I was like, 5 years went by. I kept saying,
Right.
stop
Right.
telling me,
Yeah.
are they coming?
Right.
I just went on.
Yeah.
And so finally, when I got my letter,
Mhm.
I was about to get my letter. He said, no, check again. So I said, Dad. He said, call Dad. Dad's at the hall because my dad used to do the linemen's phones before they had that done. He used to do
Okay.
that. And I called him. I said, Dad, Andre wants to know if I'm on the list for the IDs. He said, you're not on the list. I said, well, yeah, I submitted. He said, no, you're not. And I said, okay, will you please just go look?
Right.
And so he went, he said, oh, you're on the list. Because my dad didn't believe that the longshoreman was life for women. He was in that old
Okay.
school.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's why when my brother kept saying, he would go tell my brother, don't tell her that.
Right.
Because he didn't want me down here.
Right. Yeah.
See? See? So when he found out I was on the list, he's like, oh, you on the list. I said, yep. He said, okay. All right. And so finally, when I got my letter, I told him I got my letter. He was more perceptive. So when everything was going on down at the hall and I started going to meetings, and that's funny too, because when I first started going to meetings, because I wanted to know what was going on.
Mhm.
And I was like, and I would always call my dad. I'm like, Dad, they said we can't do this. He said, why did they say that? I said, "Yeah." So after say that, my dad was not only a member, but he was a strong, active member.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Very active.
Very.
And they was having an emergency caucus about our contract. And that was the first meeting that I went to. I was like, Dad, they said we can't go. He said, why you can't go? I said, because the A members are saying we can't go. He said, go to the meeting. He said, what they gonna do? Tell you gotta leave, so that you just go, and then that's all they go. If they say you gotta leave, then you just leave. I said, okay. So it was me, Gabrielle, and Brian. I don't think it was Brian. No, it was me, Gabrielle, someone else. Went to the meeting, and then when we went, they opened us with open arms. They was like, oh, we're so glad you guys are casual. You've been active. You're coming to listen. I was like, oh, we can go. Right. And then it was on from there. I tried to go to every single meeting that I could attend to.
Yes.
And she did.
That's a beautiful thing, man. So Mr. Trent,
yes.
Why you want to be a member of the ILWU?
Well, I've always wanted to be a member of the ILWU, and it actually started way back when I was a bit younger, even in my teens. Okay. Back then, they didn't used to have a casual workforce,
right?
And we used to be able to get jobs when our dads called us off our Social Security numbers. And I'll never forget that one day I got a job. Actually, my first one was in Benicia.
Oh, driving
cars.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I went up to Benicia driving cars, working off my Social Security number. I think I might have been about 19.
Okay.
And there was a safety beef. You know, there was an old timer that had a wreck in a car.
Oh, wow.
And the accident wasn't his fault, but he was fired.
Oh, damn.
So we all stood by on safety, and the business agent came, and it was a scene that I had never seen in my life. You know, first of all, I was 19, so I hadn't had many jobs. I had worked at Ace Hardware.
Okay.
And I worked at a car rental agency. So I didn't have really much experience with work. However, what was interesting is they told us all to go in the break room, and the business agent came, and you can hear him in the walking boss outside, and the business agent was just letting him have it. Boy, he was just on it. His name was Eddie Gutierrez.
Okay.
Shout out. Yeah, shout out to Eddie. He's passed away now, but he was the first business agent I seen when I, on the waterfront.
Okay.
And he was letting this walking boss have it, and I'm listening to that, and I'm like, what kind of job is this? I couldn't believe what I was looking at, And I was like, are we really gonna stand by and not work?
Right.
And this went on for about 30 minutes, and then he ended up coming in the break room, and he said, we won. He got his job back, and everybody said, yeah. Everybody was all happy. And then I looked at that, and I was like, this is the job for me.
Right.
When I saw those workers band together like that and get that old timer's job back, that was it for me, And I had already I was already familiar with some of the actions that the ILWU, especially Local 10, had taken. In 1985, Nelson Mandela did a world tour after he was released from prison. And when he came to the Oakland Coliseum, he thanked the ILWU Local 10 specifically because we sparked a worldwide campaign as far as ports are concerned. We refused to offload cargo from a ship called the Ned Lloyd Kimberley, which was South African cargo.
Okay.
And that sparked a worldwide actions. And there were already plenty of actions going on before that. But, when you start stopping cargo
right.
and trade, that
Start getting
becomes
in their
very
pockets a
powerful.
little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he was released. He was
man.
released, and when I saw that, along with the camaraderie on the job,
Mhm.
that you know, for workers to stand by and have the back of their union brothers and stuff like that, that was very, very impressive to me. And I decided right then that that's the job that I wanted to
Man, I love that. I love that answer. My only answer is I tell them all the time is my dad. You know what I'm saying? My dad is 96, 32,
I know him very well.
17.
Mhm.
He put my name on the list or whatever. And he used to tell me, like you said, yo, bro, like check up on it. My dad's telling me he calling Bullethead. He like, man, you ain't there yet. My sequence number was actually like 25, 27 or something. So I was back there. You know what I'm saying? And then when I got the call in 23, I was ready. Like I had my license together, I had my life together somewhat, and I was, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't know it was gonna be like this. But hey, I mean, I think that, hey, what don't kill you make you stronger, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So
Definitely. And
that's
it was like that for me also when I first came in, because by the time I got into the union, um, they had started the casual system.
okay.
What was unique about when we came in, because I finally was able to come into the union in 1995,
Okay.
and back then they had un-IDs and
Mm-hmm.
IDs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we had to start off as un-IDs, so it was really rough, But my dad, like you mentioned, your dad, I was really proud that my dad was a longshoreman and all that. So I
Mm-hmm.
always wanted to
Yes,
be a longshoreman growing up.
for
But
sure.
when I saw, what our union was really about,
Mm-hmm.
and our guiding principles and
Mm-hmm.
what we stood up for and all that, I really
Yeah, it's really
wanted to be a
something
member.
really, really
Yeah,
get down in your bones with it, right?
yeah.
So, with that being said, that was a good story. Damn, I wish you would have saved it for this. Um,
I got more.
it's all good.
I got
I'm,
30 years
I'm,
worth of
I'm
stories.
gonna ask Miss Tan.
Mhm.
So, looking back at your time being a longshoreman, which is not that long, but 3 generations, so that's super long. You know what I mean? Looking back at your time being well, now you're a member of the local team. Tell me a struggle that fundamentally shaped your understanding of the work and the union and the impact of solidarity.
Ooh, struggle.
Hmm.
Okay. I would say the ID process was a struggle for
Mm-hmm.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Prior to that, like I said, my dad, he had been down there. He did a total of 55 years.
Dang.
40
Let's go,
years.
pops.
Yeah, 40. He if he hadn't passed, he would have never left. But anyway, for real, he loved
Yeah.
it. He loved it. But so with that said, I was a daddy's girl, so I never struggled because of he started on a longshore when he was 21. So we're
Wow.
straight
Okay.
out. So I never really wanted for anything. But the ID process, which my brother and my dad told me,
Mm-hmm.
you gonna starve before you eat. You gonna starve before you eat. And we all
Mm-hmm.
hear that.
Mm-hmm.
But until you go through it,
Yeah, you don't know.
you don't really
Right.
truly understand that concept.
Right.
And I praise God that I was fortunate to have I was able to stay with my mom throughout that process, so I didn't have to worry about housing.
Mm-hmm.
But you still got food, you still got gas.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's how I was able to stay down there and do the hours that I did, the
Mm-hmm.
morning, night, morning, night, morning, night, which I had no idea. You're gonna have to, because you get tired for just going to the damn
Yeah.
hall.
Right. Yes. Just sitting
True.
there. Yeah.
Right. And that's one thing, talking with the other IDs of, couldn't understand why we're so darn tired when you ain't done nothing.
Right.
But it's the mental drain and the expectation of, okay, maybe I'll get a job today. Maybe I'm gonna get a job today. And then it don't happen. And that happens day after day after day after day.
Right.
like you said, you're in your third month. I mean,
Yeah.
praise God, we never went that. The longest we went was 2.5 months, but we were going day and night.
Right.
And when we first came in, they had just promoted a small group of that last bees.
Okay.
So we were getting information, even from the officials, that, oh, y'all about to get promoted. So it was a good 50 of us literally coming day in, day out, trying to get our hours in, which made the competition even more strong, because if you flop,
Right.
and you're talking about a rotation of 50 of us IDs, that's a lot for a good 2.5 months. And then that's when they start, kind of falling off. But
right.
day in, day out for 2.5 months, 50 people
Right.
sitting in the hall with you and nobody moving.
Yeah.
That was something to see.
Right.
At first, like my brother's like, you got to be at the hall. You got to. I'm like, yes. But see, they didn't experience that.
Right.
So each group, what I'm learning, has a different experience of the beginning process. So now, what was the other end of the conversation? That was my struggle.
Well, I was saying, so how did solidarity?
Solidarity. How solidarity happened with me was learning, my peers, learning the understanding of what it is to be an actual union member, and I learned that from going to the different meetings.
Okay.
And I really learned how strong and how powerful our union is from going to the different meetings, and how people don't really understand how powerful we are, and that we are a craftsmen's union, not a trade union, and how the big difference is that. And one is, when they train, they got to train all of us. They can't just train one person. Craftsmen's by skill, and just by the fact that they have to train out, and that's our fight today.
Right.
I was at, and then going to an executive board, and this is, one of the stories that goes around the hall about the trip to Africa. I was at that meeting where the delegates from Africa came and asked for our members to come. And that was so powerful. Come, like, you want our members to come because you knew what we did for you back in the 60s, to help, to come to celebrate what happened, and to help to push along another incident. I forget his name. He has a hard name. I keep forgetting his name. But that impressed me, because I'm like, this is in Africa, and they asking us.
Yeah.
South Africa.
Yeah, to come.
Yes.
That kind of, I was like, wow, we really are strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was two little white men came in. I mean, I'm like, wow.
Right. Yeah, for real. I could dig it. I could dig it. So Brother Trent, same question. What in your time, 30 years, Mr. 30 years of stories, in your time, being a longshoreman, being a member of Local 10, what moment, struggle, or whatever fundamentally shaped your understanding of the work, the union, and the impact of solidarity?
Well, there's, like you said, I'm a 30-year vet. So there's been multiple struggles, contract struggles. There have been multiple events that we planned that had an impact all over the world.
Okay.
Which is the reason why people come to us, like my sister just said, and they want our support.
Right.
One of the I guess most impactful struggles on me was the first one in 2002.
Okay.
Contract negotiations, where we got locked out.
Okay.
And for those who don't know what a lockout is, it's like a reverse strike.
Okay.
It's when the employers go on strike against the workers.
Okay.
So they locked us out the gate. And, that was my first experience on, pretty much having to stand in solidarity with other members and with my generation.
Okay.
And we did pretty well. The lockout didn't last that long. It was 11 days, but it was a learning lesson about how we need to listen to, our old timers, because they used to tell us to make sure that our money was saved,
Right.
to make sure that we're ready for a rainy day and a struggle.
Okay.
And all of everything that they had been teaching and telling us had come to light during that time. So it was very eye opening. And then I just wanted to reference something my sister said, as far as we're not a craft union.
Okay.
We're an industrial union, which is why the employers are supposed to have to train everyone. Okay. A craft union is like the operating engineers, where they separate the members by craft. Okay. We're not separated by craft. We're supposed to be all trained and ready to perform any job that comes to our hall. Okay. Now, we are separated by boards. Okay. We're separated by boards, and that's what our members' preference in the hall. We're separated by boards, but not by craft.
Okay, not by craft. Oh, yeah. I didn't never know what the difference was. So craft, labor, union, then what you say?
Say that again.
What type of union you said?
We're an industrial union.
Okay, so all right, so it's labor, it's industrial, it's craft. Must be some other ones, police, whatever they in.
Well, that's definitely a craft union because it's only one craft. Hey, we don't want to go into the
departments. Yeah. Hey, they all in unions, so it's what I'm saying. Union power, solidarity. My thing with the solidarity thing is like I said, man, my dad, he brought me to meetings. He brought me to Bloody Thursday. I've been on the boat rides, I've been around the hall. Now, I never could understand what they were saying because of the PA system, which I see they just put some new speakers up in there. Shout out Local 10 by all them. Thank you. But it's like, it just seems like it was different. It always seemed like, a person that I don't know would let me call her auntie type shit. A man that's your uncle. You know what I'm saying? You my dad's brother. You know what I'm saying? Like I never met you before, but that's what I'm saying. I think that the solidarity from the stories from '85 or even from the '30s, the '60s, '70s, you know what I'm saying, throughout time of this union is the people standing together. So that's, to me, I see it every day. I cook a lot around the hall, you know what I'm saying? And the brothers and sisters, even though they may not even eat no more, they get the money up and you know what I'm saying, y'all go ahead and do that. That, to me, they know that, you know what I'm saying, maybe these people have been coming here. They know that we have been there every damn day, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard. But that's the type of stuff that's solid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anything, like we it's like we come together and do it as a unit. And I just love I just love y'all. ILWU, I love y'all. Just love that. I say that all the time. Man, damn, y'all just got me so happy. Man, this I swear it's gonna be something. So Mr. Trent, man, considering the changes that you witnessed in the maritime industry and in Local 10, what are some of the biggest challenges you think the next generation of longshore is going to face, and what role will the union play in negotiations?
Well, to start off answering that question, because that question could be answered and it could take 30 minutes. But
man, it's here for
I don't want to take up your whole
it's
show.
It's here for you.
No, but of course you know that I've been the president of Local 10 4 times.
Okay.
I am currently um, the international executive board rep
Let's go. Shout out
for our
international.
area, and I've learned a lot over the years.
Okay.
The one thing that I see that is pretty much a microcosm of what's going on in this country is accountability.
Mhm.
That has taken a serious dive since I've been on the waterfront,
Yeah.
and self-awareness or self-education.
Okay.
As far as knowing the history of our union, and it's almost like I compare it with black people knowing true black history. A lot of us don't. A lot of us union members don't know the real history of the union, which causes problems. When you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going. Okay, that's one of the biggest challenges. And as far as reading and understanding information for oneself instead of listening to others who have not read or know the information is a big, huge problem. Okay, this person named they, whoever they is, they has been really screwing up our union because they is putting out a lot of misinformation to our members. But I don't blame they. Okay, the accountability part of it lies on our members. Okay, if you want to know something and you want to know the truth about something, you have to read. Okay, if you want to know about yourself, you have to read the history and know how you got here. That's one of the biggest challenges that I've seen, and that goes all the way back to when I first started. Okay, when I first started, the old timers were really trying to teach us and really trying to educate us. It's pretty much how I became, uh, started running for office and became a union official because I was one of the few youngsters that listened to them. But I had a dad, rest his soul, Buster Senior, they call him. That's our nickname, Buster. My dad was he wasn't strict, but he didn't play. He was very strong. It was like having Kimbo Slice as a daddy.
Shout out Kimbo, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Kimbo Slice.
Big Buster, man.
Yeah, but when my dad said to do something or to pay attention to something, I did it. I'm a third generation longshore worker, just like her. Started with my uncle AC Young, my great uncle, my dad's uncle, and he got my dad and my other uncles in, and then came me. You know, he instilled in me. Basically, he told me, "Don't go down there embarrassing me down there, and pay attention and learn and read." And I did what he said. Not like I had too much of a choice, but I did what he said, and I met people like her dad, who was a very solid union brother, and I listened to him. He used to talk to me all the time in the hall. I mean, like literally sit me down and give me game. And back then there was more. There was, I was lucky to be a longshoreman during that time because there were still we still had 59 men still on the job. People that had came in 59. My dad came in 63. His plug number was 6345. So it was still a bunch of them left, and they really gamed us up if we wanted to listen. But there were quite a few members, and some of them are still there who did not listen. Okay, and those are the ones. Those are the theys. Okay, those are the people who uh, who are more concerned about their hustle than they are about the union. Okay, and it's the basis of you know the the misinformation that goes around. It's no different from the United States. We're going through it right now. With we got a president in office who has followers, who is a representative of billionaires, and they're protecting their hustle.
Right.
So they put out all kind of misinformation. They put out divisive rhetoric to keep us at each other, instead of focusing on the real problem, which is people pushing propaganda to protect their hustles and to hog up resources. Okay, that happens in our local too, and it's the basis behind some of the chaotic union meetings you see. Some of the rumors where even my sister here and um, you don't know who to believe sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's purposeful to keep confusion going on, to where the members are always like in this limbo state. um, but the enemy is the employer.
Right.
The enemy has always been the employer. The employer wants to get as much labor out of us as possible and pay as less as they possibly can. Okay. If they could get free labor out of us, okay, bring slavery back, they would do it. And they don't care who the slaves are. They don't care whether they're black, white, Asian,
Right.
Latin.
They just want the work, man.
They just
Yeah.
want the work done, and they want to pay as little as possible. So it's in our best interest to, uh, you know, excavate the divisive talk and the politics. The one thing about politics in our local is we have elections every year, which is good and bad. Okay, because we have term limits for officers, which
Right.
last year I was the president, then I had to come out because
Right.
my term was up. We can
Right.
only do 2 years, and then you got to come out.
Okay.
We have to run and get reelected every year, which is good. It keeps career union officials from, going in there and
Just being there.
yeah, yeah. But
Run.
the negative part about that is that it keeps us in constant political mode.
Right.
Okay. And that's what you're seeing all the time. You're seeing people who want to make office, so they have to say things that the members want to hear. And if you got people who don't want to be accountable, and somebody telling them that they don't have to be accountable, yeah, oh yeah, I like what he's saying, because he's saying what I want to hear. But is that actually the right and true information? Okay, because that kind of activity is eventually going to come back and bite us, where.
Right.
And you're seeing a lot of that now. You're seeing stuff come back and bite us, bite us in the what, because we wanted to listen to somebody who was spreading propaganda. So that, to me, that's the biggest challenge. And it's not just a challenge with our local, it's a challenge with the labor movement. It's a challenge in society, um, and it's a struggle trying to get past that. Just trying to give people the correct information is a struggle nowadays.
Yeah. It's crazy. You understand what you want me to ask you the question again?
Yes. I don't even know if I could fairly catch, because I don't have the years that he has.
Nah, you've been up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Well,
didn't see.
just real quick, sister, don't you have more experience than you think,
Man.
because this sister right here, along with the other members that she mentioned, when we were in negotiations, I was the chairman of the local negotiations team. They were at all of the meetings. When I was the president, they were at all of the LRCs. They were at all of the executive board meetings.
What's going on?
She has, and I'm not exaggerating here. She has more knowledge than a lot of our Class A members. Okay, because you were there and you listened. And
Yeah.
You heard what the employers were saying to us. You heard what we said back. You read documents. So don't
Don't sell
don't
yourself
say
short.
no.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
guess one thing that I learned, um, uh, I know a little bit about corporate America.
Mm-hmm.
I've been dibble dab with corporate America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So being in the room with them
Mm-hmm.
and understanding that they have an agenda of making sure we get the work done, then we have an agenda. But when you're in a board meeting, which basically the negotiations and LRCs basically are, they're in a light. Um, we don't take them as seriously. I don't think a lot of our members take them as serious as they really are, and don't understand that these people that we are sitting across from are extremely educated. And some of our members who have to go against them may not be, but that's okay, because as long as you know the contract, that's cool. And I say no, the contract. But seeing how they would go into the meetings and intentionally talking about PMA, act like they don't know something. Or they will say something that is so direct and so absolute when it's not true at all. To see if we know. And if we don't know, they'll roll right on it with it. Like, oh, okay. That was eye-opening. So that's when I truly, really learned they are not for our favor, even though we are supposed to be together, because if they don't make money, we don't make money. Okay. And that was the logic. Business is business. If we don't make money, we all here to make money.
Right. Yeah.
But to see how manipulative they were was very eye-opening for me.
Ouch. Yeah, that's crazy. See, look at you. You know it. I so to me, I keep harkening back to when Luke came, because the brother, everybody said automation, and neither one of y'all said that. So I'm like, okay, this, what I'm saying? These perspectives is so great, but the thing that he was saying was us, like the togetherness of us, is gonna be the thing. Like to the machines, whatever they gonna come, or to even if we want to defeat the machines, we have to be together. That's the bottom line.
Right.
And that's what I think.
Right. And I agree too. And that's another thing that I learned, because of the fact that we are a bottom up union and that we have more power, or at least our rank and file members was. First of all, when I came down there and I kept hearing this rank and file, I thought it was a committee. I did. But then after I learned, no, rank and file is every single A member. But in my mind, it's every single A member that attend a union meeting.
Okay.
Because if you're not informed of what's going on, you can't make any changes. And I'm not saying our union meetings can't get crazy, and there can be really boring because you got to listen to the minutes. But you really got to listen to the minutes, because that's extremely important. Because those are documents that are going to be recorded on what we agreed upon or not agreed upon. If you say yeah, and not even realize what you just said, yeah, it can be damaging.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure. And I definitely think that but just the whole premise of it is just being together.
Right. Right. But also learning that, I also learned that we can create situations. We can create jobs if they make sense.
Yes.
Where in the world can you can go? You can literally create a job from an employer and you're not self-employed. ILWU. But it's possible. And that was the strength that I love. It's like, oh, we can't do nothing. Yes, we can.
Yes, all the time.
Oh, we just have to come together and might create resolutions. We can create all kind of dozens of resolutions. Do they have to make sense? No, but we can create them if we talk about it. And maybe if you convince me and you convince the rank and file it makes sense, it can happen.
It can happen. Yes. IOWU. I love y'all.
Resolutions, 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 resolutions.
Yes. Man, come here, you sit down, you put your tools on the table, and we had this conversation about all of this, because no matter how we feel about whatever, about your agreements, your disagreements, or whatever, it's all good to hit the table. Like you said, no matter if it makes sense or whatever, we come together to make it make some type of sense together. Because it's not me against you, brother. It's not me against you, sister. It's us against they, them, and all of those, right?
Right.
It's us, though.
Well, they being PMA.
Right. But I'm saying against ocean carriers. All of those, it's us. You feel me? And man, y'all.
And we have power.
Mm-hmm. And we have power. To understand that concept, and I'm going to say this. When you talk about the rank and file, okay, you are the rank and file. I'm the rank and file. Okay. You are the rank and file. Okay. You're not a member of the union yet. Okay. But as far as the union is concerned, you are. Right. Okay. That's why the union still represents you as a casual, even though you're a casual. Okay. You're a Class B member. That is a partially registered member, but you are a member of the union. So if you are in that hall and you work side by side with me, you are a rank and file member. Okay, now when you start talking about up and down the coast, all of the members of the ILWU, whether they are partial members, whether they're casuals, whether they are Class A members, that is our rank and file. That is our power, right? The power can either be used in a way to where it's effective or ineffective. Okay. Effective use of rank and file power is unity. Yes. Okay. You've seen examples of it. You know, I can give you one example right now that is present. And I'm talking about the coast contract negotiations when all of our wage proposals were denied by the employers. Okay. Then you saw some rank and file action.
Yes, it was beautiful.
Okay. And it was not just Class A members.
No, it wasn't. It was beautiful.
It was all of us, right? And then what happened directly after that?
They wanted to come to the table.
They start signing stuff.
They started signing stuff.
Okay.
That was incredible to see, because I witnessed all that.
Yeah,
I witnessed them not wanting to come to the table. I witnessed them saying, let's go to caucus, and then not coming back. I witnessed them holding us hostage for like 3 or 4 hours. Then they was going to come back to the table and then leaving. And then immediately after we had our solidarity, that very first meeting, not only did they have signed, they had papers, and I literally seen them put it in front of you and say, where do you want us to sign? Which was like...
They started signing documents. And this is the solidarity that I'm talking about, because what she's talking about is local negotiations.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you were there, sister, and the people who joined with you, that able to learn from that, because trust me, 10 years from now, when you are running for office or when you're getting involved in union activities and stuff like that, that experience you had is going to be so valuable.
Hell yeah.
And I remember back when one of the main brothers in our local that taught me how to showed me how to be a union official pretty much was Brother Henry Graham.
Okay, shout out.
Yeah, 8100, and his son is down there too. Shout out to his son.
Shout out.
Yeah, that was his plug number, 8100. And he was the business agent.
Okay.
He knew my dad, and I came to him one day when I was a B,
Mhm.
and I said, I might be interested in being a business agent.
Mhm.
And he said, get your ass in the car. And I got in the car with him, and he took me around. He was the business agent.
Showed you.
He took me with him and let me watch him represent members. I watched him speak to the employers and stuff like that. And I was like, I want to do that. Okay. And when I finally became a union official, those experiences that I had with him
Mhm.
was
Priceless.
extremely. I mean, I can't tell you the value
Yeah.
of being able to go. And he wasn't the only one. Brother Lawrence Tebow,
Rest
shout
in
out to
peace.
him. Rest in
Shout
peace.
out.
Shout out to Brother Clarence Thomas,
Shout
uh,
out.
who was instrumental in a lot of the social justice activities in the union, and a very special shout out to Brother Leo Robinson,
Okay. Shout out.
who you guys unfortunately didn't get a chance
Mm-mm.
to see him in action.
Okay.
But he was like the social justice father of our local.
Mm.
He was the one who spearheaded the action against the Ned Lloyd Kimberly.
Mhm.
Um, him and I hate that I can't remember the other brother's name. Um, God, he passed away too, and I'm doing him a disservice by not remembering his name.
So
But you
good.
got Brother Jack Heyman and all of those
Mhm.
people who back then who built that foundation and secured that foundation and cultivated that foundation for us to come in and have an opportunity,
Mhm.
right? And the thing is for us to squander this opportunity
Mm.
would be not only a disservice to ourselves as workers, as black people, it would be a disservice to the world.
Man.
Okay, because the world needs local 10. Okay, the world needs local 10 more than ever. Okay, the world needs black people more than ever. Okay, the world needs healing. Okay, and labor is the avenue.
Mhm.
Okay, because labor is how you get billionaires and corporate greedy people to act right.
Mhm.
Okay, greed is the foundation of evil. Okay, the OJ's made a song about it.
Mhm.
It's for the love of money.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
greed is what what was behind slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Greed is what is behind wars.
Mm-hmm.
Greed is what is behind the hogging up of the world's resources, murders, civil wars all over the world. Workers have proven over and over again throughout time to be the tool that is able to interrupt and stop those activities. And
Okay.
it has to, workers have to be brave enough to put the tools down. Put the tools down until the corporations and billionaires come to the table and hear our grievances
Yes.
and take our grievances seriously. It's the same concept with PMA.
Yes.
Okay, sometimes you got to put the tools down. They don't understand English until you get one of these tools and put them down and say, "Well, I'm gonna stand here until you start understanding what I'm talking about." Okay,
Yes.
and trust me, when that money starts hemorrhaging from their pockets, they will
They go hear.
they'll start listening.
They go hear you.
Yeah, they'll start
Man.
listening.
Man. So Miss Tan, beyond the tangible stuff. So that that's the money, the health care, all that. Beyond that, um, beyond beyond anything you could touch right now. Can you tell me something about being a member of Local 10 that can impact the lives of your family, the new members? Something that's positive.
Well, and that goes back to the solidarity.
Okay.
You know, what I truly learned about solidarity is, open me up because as an individual person,
Hmm.
I'm a loner.
Okay. Yeah.
I can tend to myself, and that's what, and it's brought me out just a little bit more. I'm not shy. It's just
Right.
I'm just,
Yeah.
that's just who
Alone.
I am. And I would say that it's made me be a little bit more outgoing than my comfort zone.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, Mr. Trent, outside of the tangible stuff, 30 years.
Well, I'm the direct opposite.
Okay. You a
I'm
people person.
well. I'm not a. I'm kind of a loner when I'm alone. I'm not. I don't die to go and be around people. But when I am around people, I don't mind it at all. I don't mind speaking to members and people and getting involved in things. I've been like that my whole life.
Right.
I don't know where I get that from. Even I remember my dad seeing the first time I spoke in front of a crowd, and him and my mother was like, "Where do you get that from?"
Right.
Like where you get I don't know where the speaking part of me comes from, but it's something that's natural, and I just like the idea of uplifting people. Okay, I don't believe that the world should be a place where you live in it and it's a struggle. Even when I'm in the hall, even you all have seen, I have a soft spot in my heart for casuals and bees, and I've been criticized for it. But I have a problem with walking in that hall, even though I used to be a casual. Like I said, I was an un-ID. We went months and months without working, so I know how that feels, but when I walk in that hall as a veteran member and I'm able to just walk in there and get a job out that window and walk out pretty much anytime I want, and I look at you guys standing there, that hurts me, you know. Um, and I just believe that the true meaning of a family is to have each other's back. Okay, if you don't have your family's back, then you're not a family.
Right.
Some of the things that we talk about are very basic. Should I have your back? Now, when you start injecting excuses not to have somebody's back, that's a casual. Well, I mean, but that's my brother. Okay. That's a class B. Well, then that's my sister.
Right.
So she gotta eat food just like me. She gotta put gas in her car. She gotta help her family like me. So why shouldn't that be the basis of what we're discussing?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things that's kind of irritating when we have, the majority of our membership, I believe, are people that care, but the world keeps us in such a struggling state, okay, that a lot of minds don't have time to think about somebody else. Right. They're so busy worried about, uh, how as an individual we're going to get by in life. How am I going to pay this mortgage? How am I going to pay this car note? I got to work. I. So if you get used to saying I, then you have to say we one day. You're like, oh, I ain't used to saying we.
Right.
Okay. But the key to it is we. That's how we are able to make those payments and take care of ourselves if we, work together, and I just see that as not only a struggle within our union, but that is a society struggle. Like every man for themselves, that's not going to work.
For sure. I just think that that's the key. Like outside of the money and all that, because I don't. I'm not indulging in that right this second. You know what I'm saying? Not even once a week.
Right.
So you know what I mean. But it's me knowing that somebody like yourself, like my sister Tan, have my back. You know what I'm saying? And it's me knowing that the ILWU have my back. I could be in Canada, I could be in San Diego. Now they may not know me, but if I got this pin on, if I got the hat on, if I have my, you know what I'm saying, something that's an identifier that I'm a part of this entity, we got each other. And I feel like that's the that's one of my greatest things about this place. It's not tangible. My dad's a pensioner, and now he's active in the pensioners. And you know, I seen like my parents be maybe in a hospital in a different state, and I had to get them a dime because my dad worked his tail off, but he worked in this union
Yeah.
that allows him to take care of his family. So
Yeah.
like when you like, you know, the world, I'm like, my family. I got a son, you know what I'm saying? And I always say I don't necessarily want him to do this, but I just want it to be an option. And the only way that that's gonna be an option is because we sticking together.
And you know, just to add to that, brother, when you say family, right? Our members have to understand that the family does not stop in our hall.
Right.
Okay, working people as a whole
Mm-hmm.
are family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm gonna tell you one of the proudest moments I had. You know, and it's pretty simple. It was just a really basic thing that happened. But I was getting on the bus one day to go get my car from the shop, and when I walked on the bus driver put his hand over the meter where you put your money in, and he put his hand over the thing like this, and I thought to myself, I was like, now why am I getting ready to get kicked off this bus? That's the first thing I thought. I said, I'm what? And I looked at him like, what? And he said, your money is no good here, Mr. ILWU.
Oh,
and he said, have a seat right there. He said, your money's no good here. And boy, I was so proud. I sat down, and the people on the bus was like, "Who is that guy?" They thought I was somebody like real important, and you know all that. But he saw my union jacket, and people love us, and they don't love us because we have good conditions. You know, there are a lot of unions that have negotiated good conditions for their members. It is our reputation. It is what we stand for. It's our 10 guiding principles. It's our stances that relate to social justice. It's the things that we've done over the years that were very important in shaping the the mentality of our country and the world. You know, and you've heard me say before, because my sister here alluded to it earlier. I would tell our members, we don't know who we are. Okay. We got to know who we are.
Yes.
We are a powerful unit. And when you talk about Local 10 individually is a powerful unit when everything's working together. Okay, but when you start talking about the union coast-wide coming together, and then you start talking about the ILA joining that, the longshoremen coming together, then you start talking about workers coming together, that is the kind of power that can change anything.
Yeah.
Okay, all of this chaos going on in this country now. You got white supremacists marching around, white men fight back, and you got all of this chaos and the troops coming to cities and all that. All of that can end, and it wouldn't take more than a week if the workers
come together.
Yeah, if workers in this country say they had enough,
come together. Let's this.
Yeah, it would be over.
Come together.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to thank y'all for y'all time, brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Just know that it may not always be me hosting, but this is a ILWU thing. It's not just a Local 10, but I have access to the members of Local 10. I appreciate the time, and whoever comes, you know, we put our tools down on the table, and we talk about this because all of these talks are important to us as a whole. We got to be together as a whole. And with that being said, until next time, brothers and sisters, an injury to one
is an injury to all. Don't forget though. Shout out to the African American Longshore Coalition.
Oh, yes, sir. Don't forget that. Shout out to y'all, and until next time, we'll see y'all. Thank y'all
Peace.
so much.
Brothers and sisters, remember to stay safe out there because an injury to one is an injury to all.